Steve here from Bloom Audio. Today we're going to talk about one of the most revered and coveted headphones in the world. Some might even call them the best headphones ever, other than the Koss Portapros, of course. I'm talking about the HIFIMAN Susvara. It's priced at $5,999, and it stands at the pinnacle of HIFIMAN's planar magnetic headphone lineup. So we're going to take a closer look at what $6,000 worth of headphones looks like, sounds like, and how it stacks up with some of the new releases out there. The whole Susvara package is very much premium, from the box and the pack-ins that are definitely a step up from other HIFIMAN products, to the design of the headphones themselves. Compared to HE1000, or especially even the Aria, if you have one of those, the design, the build, the whole thing is a big step up. One of the biggest visual improvements over the HE1000, I think, is the more circular ear cups rather than the very exaggerated ellipses of an HE1000. So in the box, which this box definitely looks like there should be something expensive in here, we've got a book, sort of like a coffee table book. It has some pictures, information about the ear pads, amplifier requirements, technical stuff. It's almost sort of like a coffee table book and a manual all in one. You get your, HIFIMAN warranty registration, be able to download the owner's guide electronically with that QR code. And then there's also this bag, which is primarily for, just protecting them as you carry them and use them around the house. If you're, putting them on your end table for the evening, you might want to slip them in that bag first. And then the headphone cable is inside. There's actually two cables inside, so I might need to update that. You get a 6.3 millimeter standard headphone and a balanced XLR. Now these cables, the construction, the wire is silver and copper strands. The connectors are Nutric, which is really nice. The wrap itself is a little stiff. The feel's not the best, but in terms of the length and other things, these cables really get the job done. As for the cable and the headphones themselves, these are a great looking pair of headphones and definitely the best in HIFIMAN's lineup in terms of aesthetics. I've definitely heard some differing opinions about the build and the comfort of the Susvara given the price point, but one place that there's no question is the sound. Susvara is neutral, musical, sound is huge, it's fast and dynamic. It's everything in balance. While an engaging sound, it's also non-fatiguing and filled to the brim with detail. Susvara's sound is very close to a true neutral sound. The tuning's almost 100% linear from the mids through the sub bass. The treble also feels very neutral, with only small adjustments and compensations that help it balance strong definition with a smooth, non-fatiguing sound that gives it incredible treble performance across the board. Part of the balance that Susvara walks is being neutral, detailed, and revealing, but without stepping over the line into that more analytical sound that's unforgiving. So while your DSD 512 Pink Floyd tracks are going to be presented in stunning detail, your indie rock Spotify streams won't sound half bad either. Susvara's soundstage and imaging are legendary, with a strong sense of a massive three-dimensional space around the listener and holographic placement of voices and instruments inside of that space. The speed and resolution are also among the best in the world for planar magnetic headphones, really closing in on that electrostatic space there. To get the most out of Susvara, you're going to need top-end gear with not just able to deliver tons of detail to Susvara, but also loads of power. I've plugged Susvara into just about anything you can think of that we have at the office, from an Ashton Kern SB2000 to iFi Diablo micro IDSD signature, from Dragonfly Cobalt to a Cord TT2. And two things were abundantly clear in that experience. Susvara delivers exactly the level of quality you give to it, and Susvara needs tons of power to really deliver those full capabilities. So from the perspective of the DACs, a device like an SB2000 or plugging straight into a Cord Hugo 2, you get incredible detail and you get a really good sense of the 3D image as well, but they can't fully bring out the dynamics and the low-end performance. Especially with the SP2000, for some folks with a little bit less sensitive hearing, you're going to have to really be pushing that up to nearly maximum volume to get the right levels. Now, then on the other end, there are some amps or DAC amp combos. The iFi Diablo comes to mind, or even like the Burson Funk, where it has the power to give you some slam and dynamics, but didn't have the detail to really give you that full Susvara experience. So on the one hand, you can get the detail without the power, you can get the power without the detail. And Susvara sounds good in both of those situations, but it's not really the full experience of what listening to Susvara should be. So when you give it the whole picture, the full power, the detail, then you've really got it. One of my favorite combos that actually surprised me a bit was the Cord Hugo 2 with the SPL Phonitor SE. The Phonitor really delivered the power and brought the low end and the dynamics alive, and the Hugo 2 delivered all of that resolution and detail, and it just created just this whole audio experience with the Susvara. There were some other options that sounded amazing. The Conductor 3 reference series from Burson, gives you both the detail and the power in one unit to give you incredible performance with the Susvara. You could also, step it up a bit and go with the Cord TT2 and M scaler. And, now you're really cooking with, just out of this world, like detail, soundstage, resolution, the whole, just the tiniest micro details and just incredible separation, everything else you can, like, almost unimaginably good sound with that. So for comparison, there are two recent releases that we've also talked about on this channel by themselves that stand out to me as potential challengers for the Susvara: the Meze Elite and the Dan Clark Audio Stealth. So in terms of the fit, finish, the comfortability, I think Elite is the strongest overall, where Elite and Susvara kind of share a more upscale style. Stealth has a different sort of look to it. And then Stealth and Elite take top marks for comfortability, with Stealth definitely getting some bonus points for how light it is. Now, in terms of the tuning, Elite and Susvara are somewhat similar, and Stealth definitely has a stronger contrast with those two. So again, Susvara is very linear into the sub bass from the mids, where Elite has a slight emphasis in the mid bass going into the lower mids and a slight drop down to the subs bass, but it still somewhat feels linear. Stealth, on the other hand, has a really strong sub bass, which then rolls off from the mid bass into the mids. So in the mids there, Elite, like I said, warms things up a little bit with a little bit of a lift from the mid bass into the lower mids. But then it kind of moves more neutral from the mids to the upper mids. Susvara, again, it's very linear with really good body there and weight. but without the warmth of the Elite. Now, Stealth's mids are pulled back, so while there's good detail there, it doesn't quite have the same level of body or weight as the mids in Elite and Susvara. Now, in the highs, all three definitely have a good balance of smoothness and definition, where Elite and Susvara have a little bit more sparkle way up top. Stealth and Susvara have this really strong sense of resolution, where Stealth, again, has that almost electrostatic resolution in the highs. In terms of soundstage and imaging, Stealth has strong imaging, but its soundstage, though it's very well constructed, is smaller than the other two. Susvara comes out with the biggest feeling space, and I think overall the strongest spatial psychoacoustics, where Elite's in between, where it has the size of close to the size of Susvara, but not the same level of the holographic imaging as Susvara, and Stealth also has that same holographic imaging without the size. So Susvara combines the best part of Elite and Stealth sound stages there. Now again, these are three amazing headphones, but one of the things that really helps separate Susvara from the rest of the pack is how it seems to combine some of the best aspects of each. It has the mids have the detail and body of the Elite, even though they don't have the warmth. While it has the strong resolution like the Stealth, and it has the high-end sparkle of the Elite, and it has really slam that with the right power, neither of those two can match either. So you can see even in the field of incredible headphones, Susvara does stand out with consistent performance across the whole sonic spectrum. Don't worry, we know. $6,000 is a lot of money for a pair of headphones. And there are a ton of great headphones to be had out there, whether the Stealth or the Elite that we were just talking about, or some of the other offerings in HIFIMAN's lineup like the HE1000 or Aria. But if you really want the best of the best, that means you have to make the investment. And right now, there really is no beating the HIFIMAN Susvara. Thanks for watching. You can check out the Susvara, Elite, Stealth, and a ton of other amazing gear at bloomaudio.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with more hi-fi personal audio content.